So I was sitting with Blaze. He was at the table, Blaze and Goalie, the state CFO, and then a couple of Congress people showed up. And I got to tell you something, Ed. I said this on my radio show. I'd never heard more people talk about unity after the GOP primary. If Byron becomes the nominee, and this is not a put down an endorsement of Byron, but if he becomes the nominee, I got news for you. I think you're going to see a huge undervote, which means people aren't going to vote. And when they're talking about unity, like I said, Ed Lynch, I'll have you take it away here, but I think they know numbers. And, Larry Sabato, his crystal ball from University of Virginia says that, the state of Florida is in play. I think it is in play. What's your take on this whole gubernatorial situation?
Yeah, it's definitely in play. I mean, let's be realistic here. And then you got the two reasonable, rational ones. You got Collins and you got Renner. Renner, right, quite frankly, has probably done more with Ron and for Ron and Ron's agenda while he was governor. And then you got Collins, who is the lieutenant governor, and people are screaming and clamoring that, hey, look, he did endorse him because he picked him as his lieutenant governor. Well, the flip side of that is after he picked him as lieutenant governor, maybe he realized he can't be a good governor, so he's not endorsing him. So you've got that whole anti-Byron group. No one is really for Renner or Collins, or some of the Fishback people are crazy. So yeah, they are. And then, and the Bobby Williams, the farmers in the middle of the state that wear Wranglers and their cowboy boots all the time, they're for him, but it's a very limited number of people. Mostly all of their people that they have in their supporters are anti-Byron people. But Byron has Trump's endorsement twice. So Byron's going to win.
Three times again today.
Yeah. So, I mean, and Trump's doing it saying, look, he's my guy. So, stand by him. But, the truth is that we've got to come together because the Democrats did a brilliant job at clearing the deck for Jolly. And, they're going to play him as a centrist, which he's not a centrist, but they're going to say he was a Republican congressman down in South Florida. So, he's really kind of middle of the road. And so all the Dems are going to do what Dems do, and they're going to vote for him because Dems were brilliant this time. They didn't put anyone against them that would cause people to hate him. And I've said this a million times. Trump never won the first election. Hillary lost it. Correct. And how she lost it was because of the Bernie Sanders supporters.
That's a great point.
10% of those people that supported him actually came out and voted for Trump. And if they would have not even come out and voted, Pennsylvania and Wisconsin and Michigan, Hillary would have won those three. That would have been 270. She'd be president right now. So the people that stay home are just biting their nose to spite their face. Donalds, regardless, is better than Jolly. Period. Well, I'm sorry. Okay. It is what it is.
Yeah, I understand that. So, Lindsay, he's right. Ed's right about Fishback. Everything about Fishback we play on the radio show is about race. Race this, race that. And to Byron's credit, he hasn't never used the race issue. But I got to tell you what I'm seeing lately. And by the way, I think if Byron does become governor, I'm not talking about the first Republican nominee who's black. If Byron becomes governor, yes, that's history that he's the first black, individual to become governor, first black Republican. But I see some on Byron's side starting to go down the path of a DEI, Joe Biden, Kamala Harris. Well, we need to let Kamala. She'll be the first black female president and blah, blah, blah. And I saw this with Obama. And that's what Democrats do. And I'm starting to see, and it's not Byron doing this, but I see some of the Byron acolytes out there going, well, why not have Byron? If you don't like Byron, you must be a racist. And Byron would be the first black Republican. I got to tell you something, Lindsay, that's what Democrats do. I don't think that sells with voters anymore. The whole, DEI because he's black or whatever.
Yeah, you're right. Byron's not the one saying it. It's his supporters that are saying it, which to me is a bad look. It's a bad look on him. It's a bad look on the party. We are the party that should be touting a meritocracy. This is not about race. This is not about what you look like on the outside, your gender, whatever it is. This is about issues. This is about where you stand on them. This is what you were going to fight for when you're in office. This is about electing actual statesmen and women to actually do great things for the country and try to save what's left of the republic. So I completely disagree, though, that Fishback has been labeled like a crazy to everybody. I think the young people, especially young men, I talked to somebody just yesterday, they are all about Fishback. They are absolutely, the boomers are not, but the Generation Z loves him. So I think he's going to get a lot higher
Does he get
percentage.
that much support?
I think he's going to get a lot more than, I don't think he's going to win, but I think he's going to get a lot more support than anybody is expecting.
Ed, do you buy into that? Fishback, is he like a dark horse? I mean, Lindsay's right. He's not going to win, but is he a dark horse to get more votes than what most people are expecting?
Well, never underestimate the ignorant voting bloc to be monumentally stupid. And young voters are stupid. The electorate in general is stupid. And I'm saying that with all due respect. Most people are actually trying to live their own lives. They have no idea. I mean, here in Palm Beach and Broward County, I swear, I think I just get judges elected because no one has any idea because it's a nonpartisan race. Yeah. So they just call me up or they'll text me or they'll go through Facebook and go, who do I vote for? And I'm not saying, you know, I learned a long time ago, I used to say, do your homework. This stuff is important. But I learned a long time ago that if I don't offer my opinion and hopefully they follow it, then they will follow the opinion of someone else that might be more stupid than I am. And so, you know, it's a very difficult thing. So the electorate, yeah, there's going to be a lot of the right-winger purple hairs, as I call them. They're going to be, yeah, Fishback sounds great. He's going to this. And he speaks very Trumpian. Everything is an absolute. Everything is like, what are you going to do with property tax? There will be no property taxes anywhere on earth ever because it's the best. I mean, he does that with every single issue, and you can't speak in absolutes, and you can't govern in absolutes.
I mean, you know, Renner and these guys are really up in North Florida a lot. And so are these guys been visiting Palm Beach County?
Not that much at all. Really? I mean, Donalds has come down, obviously, for some of the Mar-a-Lago events, but since, the White House has changed its summer location up to Bedminster, there's not a lot of events going on down here. So they'll come and stop here and there. But you know what? They love hearing the applause. They love hearing their small group of supporters that are traditionally the same people that go, same 100 or 200 people that go from place to place to place. And they love hearing them clap. So they give them the low-hanging fruit. And
voters are very, I think it's going to be low turnout. I mean, it always is in a midterm. However, I think it's going to be even lower. I think people are jaded. I feel like 2024 was the chance that we on the right felt like that we really could do something and really save our nation. And now with this, you know, seemingly forever war that we're on the brink of, and high inflation, high gas prices, it's feeling very much. It's feeling very much like the same old. And I for one, am tired of it.
Why is it that there is, I mean, this is a Trump nominee, or Trump pick, I should say. Why is it that it's just such low energy for Byron? I mean, I know a lot of Republicans. We did a poll at Florida Daily. They don't like it because he embraces AI. I didn't think
data
centers, excuse me. Thank you for clarifying that. The data centers. And I wonder if also because the party establishment, and I get along with the people at the RPOF, but I don't mean to be a jerk. I'm like Ed. I'm not here to be a rude, but I mean, if they think that way, I don't care. They just, when you come out and make excuses of not having, and by the way, I'm not saying this would have benefited, probably would have benefited Collins and these guys. We all talked about this, Ed. We know why Byron didn't do the debate, because he probably would have lost the debate, would have hurt him, but I understand why he didn't do it. But yet the Republican Party of Florida, and this is what's ticking off the base, they're so pissed off that they've insulated Byron. Don't let him run on his own. And everything has been Byron. I'm done with the parties. I don't want Republican Party. And listen, the governor wants to do it. That's his business. Rick Scott wants to do it, Trump. But I don't think the local parties, and I don't think the state party should be endorsing candidates. If you want to talk, that's the reason why they're talking about unity, because they're trying to split up everybody. And to Evan Powers and the rest of these guys, just stop pissing off the base, making lame-ass excuses of why Byron can't do a debate. If there isn't going to happen, stop making, we didn't have they didn't meet the, the threshold of the polling. Yeah, as they made it up. Yeah. I think that's what's really ticking off people. That's what did well for Trump, because they were sick of the party base out there, or the party establishment, going for all these other candidates. Maybe they see that with Byron. I think that's just ticked off a lot of other Republicans going, please stop telling us, let us just choose ourselves.
Yes.
Well, his people should have demanded a debate, but with all 11 candidates, because
I think it was smart for him to not say anything. I think
it's smart for him not to debate, because it would have been just the 5 of them and it would have been 4-on-1 the entire time.
Wow,
and so, but Byron could have come out and said, and they still wouldn't have had a debate. But he could have said, I want it. Everyone's voice needs to be heard, and I can't be the only one.
Completely agree.
Is it possible that many of these individuals, I know they're going to try to blame DeSantis if he doesn't endorse Collins, which isn't going to happen, or Donalds, but it makes me wonder before we close here that a lot of people that are thinking, well, maybe if Ron didn't endorse, like what Ed said a few moments ago, if the governor did not endorse Collins, I wonder if that raises some red flags for people going, hey, if it's not good for the governor, maybe it's not good for us.
I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt if people are a little hesitant on Collins just because of that. Because before he announced, everyone thought that the governor was going to, put his, weight behind him. Right. And he hasn't come out yet. I think it could have been a completely different race, though. A completely different landscape had the governor come out. So it's just a very interesting I think turn of events that none of us anticipated. Just a little pulse, and this isn't, a broad pulse, but I think when you look at social media and the comments on these posts about, the Republican Party of Florida and who they're backing and why, people are not happy. The Republicans are not happy. The Republicans think that, it's like big money, like AI data centers are going to come in. That's a huge thing for people. They see the money, $5 million coming from the AI, lobby. They're terrified about it. And they don't want President Trump to be telling them who to vote for.
Well, listen, Ed Lynch's going to come back with us here tomorrow. And I want to talk about the property tax. And now they got to rewrite it. The judges came out and says, hey, the verbiage sucks. You got to rewrite it. So we'll talk about that coming up the next time. Just want to remind everybody, don't forget you can watch us on our YouTube page, like it, subscribe to it. But for all things here in the state of Florida and all the news, again, everything is right there at floridadaily.com.